Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this warm welcome. Good afternoon. And I really apologize not to be able to be in Berlin. I had planned for it, but that's life. But I'm virtually, and not only virtually, with my heart with you, because I do believe that if we get it right in AI and quantum, Europe will have a very bright future, not only in technology, but in terms of economy and opportunities for our citizens. The first thing that I would like to discuss with you is, are we doing enough? Are we on the right path? What is the perspective in terms of making sure that we are AI leaders? I mean, of course, if you ask around the world, people would have a bit of a question mark where Europe is. But I would start with what happened in the last few days. I mean, I would start by the Jupiter supercomputer inauguration in Jülich. It's the greenest supercomputer of the world, number 3 or 4 fastest supercomputer of the world, which adds to our other 4 supercomputers in the top 10, things that were not thinkable a few years ago. We made it. We have given now to our startup community, our scientific community, a very powerful tool for AI. And I was really pleased in the inauguration speech by Chancellor Merz that he was very clear about the ambition of Europe and the ambition of Germany now to lead into the next stage, which is very large AI compute centers, which we call gigafactories. AI gigafactories are basically the idea that different excellencies in industry, in startup, in science should work together and actually control the compute environment and the data environment. So sovereignty in the way, I mean, we handle the data, in the way we also own the results. And we have asked the market, we have asked investors, technology companies, whether they would be interested to team up with public authorities, and the result has been overwhelming. I mean, we have had more than 70 expression of interest. An impressive now, the record country is Germany, by far, of very, very interesting projects. And promise in terms of interest from the private sector of more than 200 billion euros of investments. I think it's very promising. Of course, now we need to work with investors, with the consortia, with the member states, in particular when it comes to Germany, with the German government. But it is very clear that from the top, there's a lot of commitment from the German government, from the Commission, to make this project one of the flagship for Europe. And yesterday, the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, it was an event about 1 year from the Mario Draghi report, said, and I believe she's absolutely spot on, the AI leadership is still for grab. I mean, we are at the very beginning. I think we should not do the same mistake we have done with the internet revolution, that we were watching it, but also giving the best of Europe to others in order to thrive. The best in the meaning of intellectual property, data, users. I mean, Europe by far is the continent that has contributed most to the value of the internet for many different reasons. I mean, in terms of the aggregated GDP, the aggregated richness of the data, the aggregated breadth of our companies. Now, with AI, I think we should go on another path to make sure that all this goes in the direction also to intercept value for our companies, for our startups, for our public services. So one pillar is clearly the infrastructure, the compute infrastructure, where we need to do more. Europe has only 1/3 the AI compute capacity of the United States. There's an enormous upside. I think the Gigafactory project goes in the right direction, but of course we need to do even more. And when it comes to applications, we will present in 2 weeks from now what we call the Apply AI strategy, which is to go in each single vertical of the industry, manufacturing, distribution, supply chains, material, and services. I mean, looking at, first of all, to healthcare, but not only. I mean, re-engineering public services, re-engineering, I mean, the way our companies deal with business-oriented services. We are extremely strong in terms of being able to supply business-to-business services. I mean, we have, flagship companies in Europe. We are extremely strong in re-engineering governmental services. We lead in many of these applications. And I think I don't need to say in Berlin how is big our potential to continue to be excellent in manufacturing, in robotics. And of course, this leadership now very much intercept the leadership on AI. I think if we are not good in AI, our leadership in engineering will vanish extremely soon, as it happened with the European content when the internet wave started to disrupt everything. So we must be ready. We must brace for the impact of AI in everything we do, but also we must be a little bit non-European and say, we will do it. We will be leaders, because normally Europeans are champions of criticizing what we do. I mean, we always say, but it can be done better. Look at the one country or the other. I think we now need to say Europe has everything what it takes to lead in terms of its internal market, its capital. I mean, in terms of savings, I mean, we have an impressive richness, industries, users, and hopefully now also compute infrastructure. So we will continue to work engaging with the industries, with users, with investors to make sure that these two axes proceed in parallel: AI infrastructure and AI applications. When it comes to quantum, of course, is still to come. So the story is even more to be written compared to AI. And of course, there are many links between AI and quantums, which I will touch upon. And there, when you look at the number of Nobel Prizes on quantum physics, especially the two recent Nobel Prizes on quantum computing, I mean, and quantum communication, clearly look at the very strong scientific community we have in Germany, we have elsewhere in France, elsewhere in Europe. I mean, it's clear that we have the right basis. I think if we would look at sport as an analogy, I think we have the champions that can really win gold medals. Also, when you look at public investments, in public investments, we are also at the top of the world. So that is a very good starting point. The point with quantum is that it needs to move very quickly into an area where public investment can crowd in private investment. Because we see in other parts of the world that quantum startup immediately get the backing of investors. The kind of AI hype also now is touching quantum. So whatever, it's about something that in the future could be AI related, like, a quantum computer, then immediately it's $1 billion, at least $1 billion US, even if it doesn't exist. Now, Europe must be able to actually attract private investment in quantum technology. This is a bit, what is the message of quantum strategy? We, in the quantum strategy, looked at the kind of matrix. On one side, the three key applications of quantum: computing, communication, secure communication, and sensing, which has impressive applications such as healthcare, or such as finding water in areas where now are very scarce of water. So really societally wise and business wise, very important application. So these are the three pillars, the three columns of the quantum strategy. And then you have the horizontal one, which are our excellence centers, what we call the quantum hubs. And I mean, Germany at least has at least 3 or 4 very powerful quantum hubs. Same applies to other member states. And there we must have these hubs to be incubators of startups, incubators of working with the private sector and attracting capital. Also, we are integrating more and more quantum computing with traditional computing in our supercomputing. Jupyter and Jülich is one example, but not only Jülich, and in the future in our AI factories and gigafactories. And AI can solve certain problems that are very important for quantum computing, like, making sure that we have useful qubits to increase the computing power of quantum computers that still is relatively limited. And at the same time, make sure that quantum computers find in AI, especially, screening data sets or solving specific problems, the kind of companion which makes, a kind of a marriage in heaven. So you will see more and more that we will blend our AI strategy with the quantum strategies. We also will blend our chip strategy with a quantum strategy, looking at the pilot lines that we would like to have. We are already having, but we would like to expand on quantum chips. And then when it comes to the broader picture, secure and resilient communication in Europe, quantum will play a fundamental role. And when it comes to the larger ecosystem, which is agriculture, which is healthcare, which is, defense, quantum sensing will play a very pivotal role. So I think now we have the champions, we have the swimming pool. It's the moment to swim. It's the moment to swim in AI, it's the moment to swim in quantum, it's the moment to be positive, and also it's the moment to be united and really check at every step if what we are putting together collectively, because the gigafactory, the quantum strategy, with the future quantum act will be the result of working together, industry, associations, scientific sector, and EU authorities and member states. So let's win together. I think Europe can be a leader and will be a leader if we all work together. Many thanks.